Ghanaian intelligence was the coordinator of this secret operation on the Ghana side. Tro put on a plane jacket placed especially prepared device instead of his phone in his pocket and left the room. No one would know that Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, had secretly left a luxury hotel in Era. In the hotel corridor, they were directed to the service elevator. The elevator opened directly to the service area at the back of the hotel. Therefore, ordinary-looking black cars were waiting. There were no diplomatic markings, flags, or plates. Which one? Tro asked in a low voice. The second vehicle, Mr. President, AJ, replied. The convoy of cars passed through the dark streets of Era heading towards the old part of the city. Unlike the central areas of the city here, street lamps were fewer, buildings older, and streets narrower. Traoré watched outside from the car. This important city of West Africa gave the image of a modern metropolis during the day with its flashy buildings and lively streets. But at night, especially in these old neighborhoods, the traces of the city's past were more pronounced. The convoy stopped in front of a building dating from the colonial era. The exterior of the building was neglected, but the interior told a different story. We chose this building specifically, said AJ. It was the British military headquarters during the colonial period. Today it will host Africa's Declaration of Freedom. Tro smiled meaningfully. History sometimes takes unexpected turns, he said. Inside the building, a corridor with old stone walls and wooden floors directed them to the basement. The basement was much more modern than expected, equipped with state-of-the-art lighting, air conditioning, and security systems. As they passed through the door of a large meeting room, Ibrahim Traoré's heart rate increased. Into room 5 of Africa's most important leaders had already gathered, standing before him. Page contained detailed plans from economic resources to currencies to trade agreement. This is more than a simple trade agreement, Traoré explained. This is a plan for Africa to establish its own economic system and economy, completely independent from Western control. Ghana and President Abbasi examined the documents and asked, is this realistic? Will the IMF and World Bank allow it? A determined expression appeared on Traoré's face. We're not waiting for their permission, Wayne. We will establish our own system. This is the foundation of the African Monetary Union. There was a silence in the room. Everyone was trying to grasp what the documents before them meant. This meant African countries creating a common currency among themselves, determining their own trade rules, and completely bypassing Western financial institutions. The West will attack us, said Ivory Coast President banned. There will be economic sanctions, media attacks, maybe even physical interventions. Traoré looked around the table. In the eyes of each leader there was both concern and determination. Yes, they will attack, said, but we will be prepared. That's why this meeting is secret. That's why all our phones and electronic devices were left outside. When the West learns of our plan, we will have already set it in motion. Nigerian leader Okafor examined the notes and raised his head. The first step is to combine our gold reserves. I understanding correctly? Correct, Traoré responded. Africa's total gold reserves are much more than Western countries. Think if we combine our reserves, we can create a strong foundation for our new currency, which I call the African Union. Gold, this will be the end of the CFA. Frank said. Mal leader Tay, referring to the West African currency controlled by France. Absolutely, Traoré confirmed. The CFA is a symbol of modern colonialism. Our own currency will be the first step in our right to determine our own destiny. The meeting continued for hours. Each leader explained their country's perspective, expressed concerns, and offered suggestions. However, at the end of the night, they all had a common determination to work together for Africa's economic independence. Towards morning, all 7 leaders signed agreement. The African development would go down in history as the Accra Declaration, what happened tonight must remain secret, said Traoré as the meeting ended. Each of us will return to our country and quietly begin preparations. 3 months from now we will announce the pact to the world. Simultaneously, outside the meeting room, the sun was just beginning to rise. Africa's leaders shook hands once more, this time with an invisible bond between them. As Ibrahim Traoré returned to the hotel, he watched Accra's morning traffic. The streets were coming alive. People were starting their daily business. Most were unaware of what had happened last night, but soon everyone would know. Yedishikti, said Traoré to the Ghanaian intelligence official, the world is about